It's Clark and Perry on the case. Da-na-na-na. Clark and Perry
Do what it takes.
Da-na-na-na. Clark and Perry investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Da-na-na-na.
So now what I'm going to do is I actually bought this new matte powder. And so what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to use this to set the makeup now.
Okay.
Just like set it in place just to give it a little bit more. They call it baking. Like you allow the makeup to bake.
Oh.
That's not going to work very well. Yeah, baking is a term that they use. It's just like when you put on this, what is this? Mattifying pressed powder. I don't usually use pressed powder, but you just put a little bit on there and it just helps kind of set everything in place. As you can see, it kind of just makes it look a little bit more.
Kind of streak it on at least. Kind of streak it on at first, and then I just immediately start to dab. Oh, the only reason I felt obligated to say that is because Perry's looking right at me. I feel like I have to explain what I'm doing. Lovely, lovely.
Okay. I've never used pressed powder like this before. This is
trying something new.
We're trying something new today.
Trying something new on the Windy City's finest.
On the Windy City's finest.
Amazing.
Brought to you by Amazon.
Amazon, please sponsor us.
Daddy Bezos. Okay. All right. So now we've done the highlights. We're going to move on to the lowlights. We're going to move on to the actual contour itself.
Okay. Sounds good. Perfect time.
So I just like to use a little brush like this, little angle brush. I take like the littlest amount, and it's going to vary depending on how dramatic you want it to look. For me, I just like to put it a little bit in the corner here of my face, and then just like bring it down a little bit. I just like the littlest bit, like that much. I used to bring it all the way down my face, but honestly,
it really kind of just spreads out on its own,
yeah.
Right? Okay, interesting.
And then you just want like a little bit, just to give it that little cut right there. I remember one time I did a show, and one of the other queens came up to me and she's like, "I love a good gradient." And I was like, "My face? Thanks." I think she meant it as a compliment. It came across a little shady, but that's part of the game. That's part of the game. That's part of the thing. I don't think a lot of people realize is that the backstage of a drag show is kind of like a locker room. Like it really is. Yeah. Because you are just like reading each other. For people who don't know what reading is, you're just kind of I don't know, sometimes it's like aggressively complimenting someone, or it's you know, you're telling them something that they might not know and they might need to know.
It's part of the culture, right?
It's part of the culture, yeah. Started all the way back to New York in the ball scene in the 1980s, and that was really an underground scene for people of color, specifically, to have a place where they could express themselves in a safe way. And they could, you know, do all of these things that traditionally they would not be able to do because of certain, you know, restrictions and stuff like that. So, yeah, you really have to do your history. You really have to do your like research too. Yeah. Something that's really important about being in drag just in general is knowing where it came from and how it started, and how it really started with, you know, trans people of color and, just trans people in general, people of color, really kind of bringing this to the forefront so that, you know, we can do it. Yeah. So that is definitely something to make sure that you're...
Know your roots so history doesn't repeat itself.
Well, right? Yeah, and just so you can pay homage and you can be respectful. And so now what I'm doing is I'm doing this little jawline moment. Ooh. Just kind of define the jawline.
Yeah, that's right. And I've kind of tried my best to apply some of the, not contour. It's not the. Wait, no highlights? No, it is contour. Never mind. So, so some of the like the dark colors just underneath the jawline to try to just accentuate that shadow and to make those features pop as well too. I haven't feel like.
Okay, well, that's actually a pretty good nose contour. Look at that. All right.
Ooh.
So now we're going to, what are we going to do next? I always do this thing. So I've been doing drag for so long,
Yeah.
but still to this day, I have moments of, what is next?
Yeah.
What do I do next in this process?
What happens?
What happens next? I think I'm going to use this little bad boy. You want to get that right up against your eyelid.
Oh, perfect. See
And
this
then,
live in action.
yeah, clamp your eyelashes down. And what it's going to do is it's going to like curve your eyelashes up, which will help later with putting on fake eyelashes, which is a whole other beast of itself. Okay, so that's done now. And I did that before I did my eyeliner because I use liquid eyeliner,
Oh, okay. Okay.
which is a little bit more volatile.
That is, yeah. I was about to say that's a lot more complicated than the
Yeah.
pencil. Oh my goodness. What's your technique?
I start from the inside out, and I'll try and build a base. So
Okay.
start off a little bit. Yeah. I don't like a lot of eyeliner, to be honest with you.
To be fair, neither do I.
A lot of people, a lot of other queens will like their whole face will be eyeliner, and that's. I also don't cover my eyebrows, which is very controversial in of itself, because there's this whole thing of like, oh, painting an illusion on your face. But at the end of the day, drag is self-expression. Drag is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to cover your eyebrows, don't cover your eyebrows, babes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if other people have opinions about that, well, that's on them, you know? That was another thing too, you know. I've had so many people in my life be like, oh, you don't wear wigs, you don't cover your eyebrows. And I'm like, what? Show me in the playbook where it says I have to do that. You know, that's the beauty of drag.
Yeah. And
There is no playbook.
And it is a true expression of yourself.
Yeah.
And again, that's
And it's
why
how you want to do it.
Yeah.
It is. It's more than just, you know. Anyways.
I have very eccentric. It's very popping right now, which is the point. So I have a lot of highlights just kind of along the cheekbones and around kind of at the top of the jawline here, and then contour just kind of underneath that highlight and underneath that on either end as well too. We never necessarily kind of did eyeliner on the top.
On the
as well,
top,
too.
yeah.
That is also a different thing, because for us on the stage, like again, you're playing towards the back purely and spectacally. They need to know where your eyes kind of finish. But for yourself, what exactly does eyeliner get out of on this makeup here?
On my makeup specifically,
Yeah.
Is honestly, it's to hide.
Okay.
It's to hide the lashes, because when you put the lashes on, sometimes there's that little space in between where the lash sits and where your eyes finish, and so it's really just to mask that.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Okay. No, that's really good, and that answers that question.
Yeah, but as you can see, I put very, very minimal on. I don't really like to do a lot.
Yeah.
It's really easy, especially with liquid, it's really easy to get yourself like carried away. And next thing you know, your whole face, the whole thing is eyeliner.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was about to say, what do you have to do if you mess up on eyeliner? What happens? What do you have to do?
A famous saying is, you know, your eyebrows, your eyeliners, they don't have to be twins.
Oh,
they just have to be sisters.
They're sisters, not twins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can be neighbors adjacent, you know, like sometimes they can be
or across the block, depending.
your cousin's dog's uncle, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. And I like as well too that you kind of have your elbow kind of firmly situated somewhere.
Yeah, like some people will put their like whole hand on their face, but no.
No.
Yeah. And most of my, like, the thing is, the nice thing about these lashes that I'm using today, these are like my nighttime lashes. They'll cover up most of that anyway, so people won't even see it.
Okay.
What are we doing now?
Well, for myself, like,
are you doing
I'm going to
now?
be doing natural lashes, so I'm going to be
Amazing.
using mascara.
Oh yeah, that was something.
Where are you at with things?
Where am I at with things? Well, I would be doing mascara, but I think... Oh, that is mascara. Amazing.
Perfect. We're doing mascara.
Well, see, what I like to do is I like to put myself together a little emergency bag of makeup that I take with me to the show, and then I do that thing where I'm really lazy and I don't unpack it after the show. And I definitely left it at home, but luckily for all of us, I just have extra. I didn't even know this. I did not even know this was mascara until I just opened it right now. So slay. And don't get it in your eye.
Surprise yourself. Yes, don't get it in your eye. Like myself, I'm using kind of a bigger brush, so I try to like blink into it to get the top stuff.
And the reason that I'm putting mascara on, even though I'm putting eyelashes on, it actually helps keep the eyelashes on.
I was going to ask that too, because I was like, wait a second, aren't you?
I learned that trick from an old queen who was like, put mascara on first, because then it also like defines your eyelashes so that it blends in easier.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you put these big ones on, you can just see them like sitting underneath.
Yeah.
And that's really, really awkward, especially if you're going to get all up in people's business and stuff.
Absolutely.
But the eyelashes are the last part, because right now we're going to get into the lips. So I love using this specific brand, which I can't say, but I love using it, because at the bottom of their lipsticks, they have little pots of the actual lipstick itself.
Oh.
So that I use this as my lip liner.
An alternate way of applying it as well too. Oh man, that's handy.
So
kudos to them. They know what they're doing.
I have a mustache, if you couldn't already tell.
Yes.
So
what do you do to get around that?
I just put it underneath.
Underneath?
Yeah.
Huh? Perry with the faces.
Hey.
Again.
How you doing?
Doing good. Yeah, so like I was kind of mentioning, I just kind of blink into this for the most part to get the top, and then for the bottoms, I just come and find them, and then I just wiggle this around a little bit just to get some mascara on them.
Honestly, I'm getting close to being done. So.
Me too. I'm pretty close.
I told y'all.
Man,
in a
really
pinch.
Just slamming out.
In a pinch. Well, I've gotten to a point now where I know what I like and I know how to do it, and I just get it done. You know.
Yeah, exactly. No need to spend extra time. Yeah, that definitely feels on.
And drag queens are notorious for being late. So I like to be extra early.
Just so you can get the makeup out of the way. Then you're not fighting over the mirrors.
You know why? It's so I can get the best place in the changing room.
There we go.
I get there early so I can get the spot in the corner. And everyone's like, oh, no, not. I'm like, nope, it's not your spot. You should have shown up.
Yep.
What am I doing next? Oh, I also like to, I don't know how well it's going to show on this one, but I also like to add mascara to my eyebrows.
I haven't tried that before, but I was just thinking about that.
Because it gives just a little bit more definition. It makes them pop.
Yeah.
And I find that it's just, it may not seem like it makes a difference, but...
Now, I shouldn't say this wasn't typically part of our routine. We wouldn't apply mascara to the eyebrows, but I'm very curious. Now, curiosity is going to kill a cat here. I'm going to try to see what happens, what this does to me. Jordan, you were just looking at me like...
With that big brush?
With that big brush?
Do you want me?
We're going to find out.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to find out.
This is hilarious.
If this misses it up, that's fine. I'm not too tied to it. I'm just going to be gentle. Just gentle.
You notice how I paused? I need to see this. This is great. Okay. You're so funny. So funny. Okay, and then one of the last steps is just a little bit of blush. Now, people would usually just have like an actual blush palette, but I am not going to do that. So And even how I've like applied my blush is changed dramatically over the years.
Yeah. What's your secret? What do you do?
What do you mean?
Like when it comes to blush,
Way too
like
much blush is what this is, but
yeah.
there's a lot, but so someone taught me that you want to like smile,
Yeah.
and then you get it right on those,
Right on those
the
kind of
apple,
balls of
yeah.
the cheek right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
But
And when it comes to colors,
Yeah.
because like you said, you have a very diverse and kind of favorite palette as well
Yeah.
too. When it comes to like matching your lips, your eyes, and eventually your blush as
Yeah.
well too, what have you experimented with, and what colors seem to work best?
So for me, it's a good red lip.
A
I
good
don't
red
have my
lip.
favorite red lip here today, but yeah, it's usually like a red,
Mm-hmm.
a red, pink, purple. Yeah, reds and yellows, like yellows and oranges. It's just like with my skin tone. It really
just matches.
That's a
well.
lot of blush. Okay, that's fine. That's
okay.
fine.
That's
It's good. It's great.
We're gonna try the other
Um,
eyebrow now at this point too.
Oh no,
so-
it looks great.
Yeah.
Brent,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not bad.
You need to just do that more often, just in your day-to-day life. You
It's
know,
the day-to-day life.
accentuate those eyebrows. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So now, really, the final thing is I'm just gonna. So what these are two pairs of eyelashes stacked on each other.
Right.
People like queens will do 2, 3, 4. Who knows? Just depends on what kind. Oh, that is a lot.
3 or 4. I feel like that's definitely more of a butterfly eyes. You can really
And that's also for performers who will like cover their eyebrows because they're like their eyes will be like up here and their brows will be kind of up here, and they're putting wigs on and stuff, right? So they'll put on like 301s, which are like the biggest. They're bigger than these ones.
So I'm going to be pretty invested in in this process as well too. I've never seen actually these be applied before.
No?
Yeah. So what are you doing right now?
So right now I'm getting it sticky, getting it tacky.
Okay. Yeah.
It needs a moment to like not be so watery.
Okay.
So it sticks on better. And then I literally just
shoulder again.
Yeah, I just like I start with the inner
and just line that up.
Just line that up. And then I'll just like hold it down. You just really got to press it down.
Okay. And again, the tool here helped kind of like flip the eyelashes up.
Yeah.
You applied mascara to help it kind of stick. And then finally, that's...
Yeah. Hopefully it will stick on.
Hopefully it sticks on.
Because the last thing you want is a wonky eyelash. Like that.
Oh my goodness. That sticks very well.
Yeah. I feel like when the lashes go on, that's when the character really, that's when, not the character, that's when the persona comes out.
Really comes in.
Because that's another interesting discussion too. Some drag performers will really want to kind of separate their drag from who they are, kind of thing. They're like, oh, this person is very separate.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's one and the same.
Yeah.
Sophie's always doing her thing, always in there doing, because since I found Sophie, she's really helped me be my authentic self,
right?
And vice versa. Like it's really just kind of helping.
Well, like you said too, it's like your drag persona and the way you perform is very much of your truth, and it makes sense to know that persona is just a part.
It's just an extension of me.
An extension of
me. It's not like a character that I created for funsies. It's like no, she's always been there. Now there's just like a face to the feeling, I guess.
Of course.
And there she is.
There it is. That's looking amazing.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. I think we're all good.
Setting powder, is that?
Yeah, so I would
important?
Setting spray. So if you don't have a setting spray, and then I'm really out, as you can tell, but I would just kind of put that all over my face. If you don't have setting spray though, or setting powder, hairspray works great.
Hairspray works.
Yeah, hairspray actually works super, super well.
And I mean, most queens also do their hair as well too. So like, I mean, that can definitely be a hand in hand thing. But
and there it is.
There
I was not
is.
joking when I told you I could do my makeup real fast.
Yeah, my
Okay,
goodness.
she is an efficient what queen? All right. And that's really that's it. And then I would just put the setting spray on, and I'd put a little bag with my on myself. But yeah, that's
pretty much. I was finished as well too. I was just kind of there putting on the setting powder, and we're ready to kind of hit the stage. Two very different art forms. Myself just doing like masculine features of my only highlighting myself for my own stage performance. There it is. Not the best. Definitely not the worst though.
definitely not the worst. I've seen worse.
And then definitely, I think we have probably one of the higher calibers when it comes to demonstrations as well too. Looking lovely, Sophie.
Thank you. These eyelashes are so heavy. We just don't wear them a lot. Like literally, people are like, "How?" I feel like a horse with blinders on. You know, I'm like
the entire time.
My vision is this.
Everybody is just like, "Yeah, you look so tired." Really? Is that because I have this extra weight on my
exactly.
my eyelids trying to keep them closed? There we go. Okay. Well, no, thank you again so much for walking us through your process.
Thank you
as
for
well,
allowing
too.
me to.
This
It's really cool.
This has been very fun and informative, and I hope the viewers have learned at least something.
Yeah.
Maybe not what not to do versus what to do.
Yeah.
So
what you can do, what is possible.
Yeah.
You know,
it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you again so much, folks. This has been the Windy City's Finest. I'm Clark. He's Perry, and this has been Jordan Payne, aka Sophie Wright.
Sophie right now.
Sophie right now. That's right.
It's Clark and Perry on the case. Ja-na-na-na. Clark and Perry do what it takes. Ja-na-na-na. Clark and Perry investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's Finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Ja-na-na-na.